Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bytown Economic Development Committee. For Thursday, March 5th, I call the meeting to order at 8:02 a.m. And are there any public comments? I don't see any public here, so we will move on. Additions and changes to the agenda. We were just talking about the time. Should we put this on the agenda?
Yeah.
Why don't we put that under other business?
Okay.
Anybody else have anything? All right, moving on. Approve the minutes from the January 8th meeting. I'm gonna have to abstain because I was not here.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of January 8th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Bosh, thank you. All those in favor of approving the minutes of January 8th?
Aye.
Those opposed? See, and abstentions myself. Okay. Emily is not here, so let's move on to housing committee update.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Taking the minutes and also talking can be hard.
I know, right?
What? Multitasking. Come on, Shannon.
We are still looking to reboot this. February went by really quickly. I'm hoping we will have had some sort of meeting by the next time this group meets. There are some things coming up. BDCC is doing a meeting that unfortunately I can't attend. But I do hope and expect to, by our next meeting, have had that group restarted.
And I'll be attending that meeting at the BDC. I think it's March 12th. And the Vermont Community Development Association is doing things about housing in your community. And that is that's April 15th. And that is going to be in Montpelier. I'm not sure if anybody would like to carpool with me, but most likely I'll be going up the morning of. Anything else on housing? Okay. Marketing committee update. Of course, we're just gearing up. We have had a couple of meetings about our campaign. We're working with Trampoline again this year on ads and using some new photos, things like that. So I'm sure that we will be coming to Bytown with the program maybe the next meeting, because that would be May. So Tim should be coming maybe to present. Does anybody have any questions on marketing? Okay. Moving on, economic development reporting. Shannon, did you want to go first or did you want me to?
Sure. No, I can. So we got a payment last month from November 3rd to February 3rd for $240,448.35. So that was a 16% increase from last year's payment. With the change in the percentage that the state is keeping, it's probably closer to an actual 10% increase. But rooms and meals and sales and use were both up 15%. Our returns were up in sales and use and in meals and rooms, further proving that this data is incredibly confusing and very frustrating because sales and use was up 2% in returns and 26% in meals and rooms. So it's all just confusing, but all up is good. And we will get another payment in May. Probably not before we meet again, but we'll see how that goes.
Shannon, can I share my screen?
Oh, yeah.
So Wilmington had a little bit of a different scenario. We were down even with the increase. But if you're comparing February of 2025, we had a few less days, but that shouldn't impact too much because the increase should have made up for that. We did have less claims in meals and rooms and alcohol than past years. And with sales and use, again, we did have more, and that did come out to be a higher number. Well, it's actually a lesser. No, well, wait a minute, where am I? Yes, we lost. So, again, we're down and we really, like, I don't know really what happened, but I think, and of course, this data is only as good as the people that are submitting their regular quarterlies. And I don't know if that's not happening or where we're at with that, but because they don't give you that information. Anybody have any questions? I did send this out, and of course there's this I don't know, it might not, that did switch. And this is a lot of information, but it goes, it gives a lot of history. And comparatively, I don't know what's going on with use tax. It's kind of like all over the place. Is Amazon withholding? I have no idea. Like, it's bizarre. So, but again, we're really, in 2025, alcohol was up in the first quarter. That's one of the largest numbers we've had, but beyond that, and we don't have fourth quarter reporting as of yet. I didn't check this morning to see if they have it out, but as I update this, I will send it out to everyone. Anybody have any questions?
I just have a comment. Laura at town meeting, Laura Sibilia, urged the Dover Select Board to write letters because they're looking to take surplus out of the pilot program, which is now even more. It just keeps compounding for other things that are not. And this money came from the towns that have the 1% local option tax. And it's just not right that they should start using the money that we're collecting for other programs. And so I would urge maybe Wilmington to do that as well, Gretchen.
Yes.
Yes.
Agreed.
Okay. That's all I have to say.
Anybody else have any comments? Shannon, I want to let you know that Heidi joined and Emily, Carris, Duncan.
Yep, thank you.
And so let's go back into our agenda, and I did send out a informative piece that Laura had sent us. Unfortunately, she was not able to join us today. So everybody take a look at her updates. Emily, thank you for coming. Maybe we should do a quick round robin of like who we are and what we represent. That might be helpful. So you know who I am. Josh, do you wanna?
Josh Voss, General Manager, Executive Director at the Hermitage Club.
Heidi Taylor, Deerfield Valley Rescue.
Shannon?
Shannon Wheeler, Economic Development Director at Dover.
I'm
Vicky?
Vicki Capitani. I'm the chair of the Dover Select Board.
Pam?
Pam Green, Southern Vermont Deerfield Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Leah?
I'm Leah Gabriel Potts, Vice President of Vail Resorts and General Manager of Mounts.
Adam?
Hey, everybody. Adam Grinold, Executive Director with Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation.
Sam?
Good morning, Sam Kondracki, Executive Director of Wilmington Works, the nonprofit organization in downtown.
Nice to see you there.
Thank you.
What? Thank you, guys. So I guess sort of a general update from the Commerce Committee. We've been working a lot on privacy issues. We did just pass out, or well, are working on passing out of the House. We passed out in committee a bill about event ticketing. So we've been getting a lot of reports from a lot of people about folks trying to buy tickets for events, trying to buy primary tickets for events and being put onto spoof sites. At this point, it's like it's mostly entertainment, but it's also bleeding out into basically any industry that has ticketing. So there are instances of using venues' intellectual property and creating these spoof sites for selling resale tickets. The really high markups that we're seeing, also in relationship to bots buying up hordes of seats and then reselling them on the secondary market. So we are attempting to put in some safeguards that would allow venues to be able to take legal action if their intellectual property is used. It allows consumers within Vermont that are buying tickets within Vermont to be able to seek some remedies if they end up purchasing from a secondary site that drastically raises prices. And we're also looking at data broker breaches and trying to update our data broker statute. We are also running into a lot of issues where just technology is getting ahead of us. And we're trying to find business-friendly ways to protect Vermonters and Vermont businesses, because Vermont businesses are losing a lot on security, having to spend a lot on IT. So on that front. And then I'm sure you all have been in touch with Laura. We're working a lot on land use issues, so Act 181 in Rural Caucus. And then also another thing that we're kind of picking up in committee is realizing that Vermont has a lot of various spots where folks can get technical assistance, both for small business and municipalities. We have a lot of spots where grant money lives, but we don't totally have a full accounting of exactly where that all is. So we're trying to, along with BCRD, get a better sense of what opportunities are out there, what kind of technical assistance, particularly for municipalities, exists, and how can we streamline these processes a little bit. So I think the form that's starting to take now is doing something similar to what we did with the Office of Workforce Development, and trying to have like a storehouse where all of this information lives. I'm not sure, we're still in very early days about the details about that. And I heard when I was coming in about the 1% option tax, that we are really fighting to make sure that the towns are able to actually get, the portions that were put out that are meant for helping our town. So we're continuing to work on that, and very dismayed by the idea that it would go elsewhere.
Do you think that will come up before the end of the legislative season?
I think so. There are enough towns that are like pushing for this. I would think so. I'm gonna push leadership, make sure we.
Yeah, and if you need people to testify, we're on it.
Great. Fantastic.
So
yeah, but do you have anything for me?
I mean,
Are you running again, Emily?
Am I running again? Yes, I am.
Good.
I figured, cute. I figure I have all of this interesting storehouse of skills now. I might as well put them to good use.
Yes.
For as long as I can, you know?
The land use, do you see that that will be delayed at all?
I think so. There's a lot of support for it. And also we're hearing from the land use review board that they would like it delayed too.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
they're like, they've been, and I have to say, just like on record, that they've been really good working partners for us. But they also are just like, this is, it's a big thing that we're asking. I think we tend to sometimes set really tight deadlines to make sure that like we're accountable. But at the same time, it's important to set realistic deadlines to make sure that we can actually answer all of these really important questions. Because, like we talked about the VORIC grant, we talked about all of this trails work that's being done throughout the state. If we don't balance our land use rules, are we going to be able to really maximize all of that good work that's already going in?
Well, and I think that there's a huge problem with the mapping, like, it's, there's been no boots on the ground to come out and take a look at these river corridors and, they're inaccurate. And, I don't think that that's fair or right, that they put these they're pushing each one of the regional commissions thanks, Adam. Pushing these, the regional commissions to, like push and, they have to have them done, I think it's by October or something.
Yes.
And it's not right and not fair.
No, it's too much. And I think that we're at this point where if we could use this opportunity, we could really align our surface maps and actually make things flow hopefully better.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So that's definitely what we're really pushing. And we also have support from BCLT on that. I'm just throwing things down and getting some of these answers.
Anybody else have questions for Emily? Okay, well, Emily, thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Um,
And you please feel free to reach out if anything comes up at all. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I'm always here to help.
Great. Thank you.
Okay, so you guys get on with your meeting?
Yeah, or you could stay if you would like, but I'm
Okay.
sure you have things to do, but we'd love to have you stay if you would like.
I'm happy to stay.
You
I love
are?
it. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I know what y'all are doing.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, so we've done the economic data reporting too, so we're under other business. And for those that joined a little late, we had put on here about the timing of the meeting. And should we be changing it to, I believe, a later time? We would keep our schedule of every other month, but moving it to a later time. What's everybody's thoughts?
Yes.
As Shannon said, even 8:30 would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm already starting something else and then I forget, I'm sure. Even though I'm supposed to hear.
I like 8:30 as well.
I like 8:30.
Okay,
Right.
so can we do, just to make it formal, so that we can put it in our meeting minutes?
I move to change the start time to 8:30 every other month on the first Thursday of the month.
I'll second.
That was good. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, hearing none. So 8:30, and that would be
May 7th.
Thank you. All right, moving into updates. Well, we have had town meeting, the other day. I was not able to attend, but they did decline by a very small vote about solar arrays on the safety facility building. And I guess there's a lot of discussion around that as well. But everything else, I think, was not, I mean, they ended at, I think, 2:30, but. Things that I'm working on, and Sam, I'm gonna call on you a little bit at the end. So banners, we had a complaint, and asking for our permit for the pole banners that are in our downtown and out Route 9 and up 100. And we have some on Colebrook as well. The person actually ended up taking it to the state. These banners have been up since like 1993. And the state came back to us and is requiring us to go through a permit process of an 1111 through VTrans. And we also have to update our arrangement that we have with Green Mountain Power to have permission to put these on the poles. The person in the Teresa Gilman at the VTrans indicated that most likely, and then this goes on to a committee that approves the banners, what they say on them and how they look. And they indicated that most likely we will not be getting our outside banners on Route 9 or up 100. We would only be allowed most likely to do downtown banners. So
I will also just point out that Whitingham is having a similar issue. They wanted to put banners up and they've just gotten denied as well.
Yeah.
What about Dover, Shannon? Have we had a problem?
No, but I imagine we will now, as this complaint moves through, unfortunately, but so far nobody's contacted us.
Yeah.
So it sounds like if this is the case, we should find other communities that are having similar situation. It sounds like a legislative fix. We can stall and delay any impact in our communities until there's an opportunity for a legislative solution. That might be a good approach because, Gretchen, why we already had agreements with Green Mountain Power and at the time Fairpoint and everyone else to have those banners placed on those poles.
Yeah, so originally it was the Chamber of Commerce that put those banners up in the downtown.
Oh, I remember.
Yes, and the chamber, of course, lost a lot of their records during the flood. So I assumed that they didn't have any record of that. And so I talked to Nikki for her agreement and at Green Mountain Power, Nikki Walling. And so she said we should just do a whole new agreement. And so we're working through that agreement now. And we'll be submitting the 1111 in hopefully by next week. And we plan on attending that. It's tourism. Can you help me with the name?
Oh, the Department of Marketing and Tourism.
It's, yeah, the committee is the travel.
And travel marketing institution.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I think it's TIC. But anyway, so we're working on that. For Dover, I just lay low.
Yeah.
So a complaint was generated out of, somebody who the zoning administrator felt was in violation of a sign. And, the zoning administrator at the time was Jessica Roberts. And they have been, this has been going on over a year and a half. And the person is just spending a lot of time. Yeah.
Yeah. We know about those kind of people too.
Mhm.
So, if I could have the opportunity to interrogate our representative, does this seem like an opportunity for some draft legislation to, you know, we don't need to create a study committee, but at least understand what the issues are first. The fact that there's a state committee that decides what your banners can look like in a community, it seems
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
sorts.
Yes, I would say that this definitely deserves to be looked at. There are way too many communities at this point that have roadside banners.
All
That
right.
this is gonna, I mean, and it, yes.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
This definitely does need to be looked at. I really thought that this was kind of an isolated incident, but clearly this is a more expansive issue.
Yeah, this is, very frustrating.
Yeah.
Well, and a good opportunity for state where, I mean, this is right where state policy can clarify and help align practices that have been happening across state in different areas. That is the state really taking control of this or not?
Right.
Because that committee could get pretty busy, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and also, I think what occurs to me too is that if the owners of the poles are also fine with the banners and there is positive agreement, then I don't see why we're in it.
Yeah, why does this?
Like, I can only imagine that, like, if the state apparatus should be there if there's a conflict.
Well, I can kind of understand like an 1111 permit, that because it is in the V-Trans right of way, are they at the correct height for, like visual, if you're at a corner and turning radius, all of those pieces, I can totally understand, but on our own roads, an 1111, and we're not submitting the other roads because it's strictly V-Trans, but unfortunately, it also seems, and I know I'm being recorded, but that this is another way that the state is trying to get us to take over state roads within our downtowns. So that we have to maintain them, plow them, all that, and I don't know how these small towns can actually do that, so.
They can't.
Right. Anything else on banners? I dream about banners. We have a new restaurant in town, TT's Kitchen, out on Route 9 in the Big Barn. And we also have a new business of doggy boarding and daycare, and that's on Route 9 West going out. So it's great to welcome new businesses, and we're also doing, along with Wilmington Works, a business cohort for people starting businesses, have been in business, need some support. They're meeting monthly at the old school. The next meeting is Tuesday, March 31st. And we've been having really good response. I think there was 9 members the last time. So it's and they serve dinner and they just talk about business types of things, and bringing in accountants and attorneys and things like that to help guide them. So that's been really successful. We put out the bid for East Main Street sidewalk project. That's the north side. Coming out of like Beaver Street down to the bridge by the Viking Motel. And we had a really good bid, so we're working on a contract with that particular bidder. And they're out of, it's Waters Excavating, and they're out of Windsor, Vermont, so fairly close. And then for the Route 9 infrastructure, water and sewer project, we have just passed through the NEPA from my understanding, from our engineer. And then so hopefully we'll be moving soon into a bid, going out to bid for that project as well. Sam, do you want to give an update on like the restaurant week and the business plan comp?
Sure. So Wilmington Works is running our another business competition, which is the third business plan competition. Originally, we were going to have the same timeline, so it would have gone over through next winter, but now applications will be opening the middle of May. So pretty quick turnaround from the last time. But I think it would be good to get new businesses open in town as, well in advance of bridge construction as possible, so that people have time to establish their businesses. Since when they win the competition, which the winners would be announced middle of October, they have a year to open their business. So trying to get people, the opportunity to open their business before bridge construction is something we're striving for. In addition, we are doing Wilmington Works' first restaurant week, which we're pretty excited about. It'll span through the end of June, and it will be over the course of 9 days. The restaurants that we've talked to, we've spoken to many of them, are really excited about this opportunity. We run Eat, Sleep, Shop Local in the winter, and of course it includes restaurants, but it tends to feel like the retail stores shine brighter in that opportunity. So restaurants are really excited to kind of get their own opportunity. We have been talking and looking at some social media influencers that kind of specialize in food and restaurant, and hiring them to do some features on our businesses ahead of that time. So I'm pretty excited about that. There will be punch cards available. So in the 9 days, if you eat at any of the restaurants, doesn't matter if it's 5 different ones or 5 of the same ones, but if you eat out 5 times in that 9 time span, you'll be entered into a raffle to receive a $100 gift card of a restaurant of your choice. And so our goal with these restaurants is that some will be offering discounts, others will be offering like special appetizers, some will be doing special menus, some will be doing like one-off menu items that they'll be advertising. We're also hoping to get some entertainment in as well, to just create a really fun week the end of June.
Thanks, Sam. Anything else? Any questions for us? Sam, did you happen to attend the select board meeting yesterday morning?
Yes, I did.
Is Tom still the chair?
Yes.
And the vice chair is
Vince.
Vince. Okay. So everything's kind of staying the same.
Yep. And then Tony was voted back in as well.
Great. Thank you. Okay, Dover.
Want me to start, Shannon? Town meeting, everything passed. It was a less full house than we had last year, which was very full. We created a fund for bridge repair and replacement because we're going to have to pay for the Blue Brook Bridge within 5 to 7 years. And right now that's about 750,000. So it's probably going to be over $1 million by the replacement time. We took over the Westover Cemetery. So this is going to be the first municipal cemetery in the town of Dover. We also this week got the water feasibility study in draft form. And so we're all trying to go through that. It's 75 pages, so it's a bit. And that's that. That's all I got.
Sorry. Oh, now I'm echoing for somebody. Most exciting in my world is our recreation manager, Gordon Goss, started last month. So this is the first time we've had a dedicated position to take care of our trails and rec venues in town. So it's really exciting. It's a full-time year-round position. We're working on a priority list right now. Really thankful for the select board support in making this happen. New positions don't come along often in towns. And I think this is a really big deal. We know we needed it, but it's taken us a bit to get here. So we're working on some stuff. What that means mostly is it's a chance for some maintenance, some development to be happening in-house, which is exciting. We can support our highway department a little bit better. They can support us better. And also we have a dedicated person for all of our user groups in town to make a connection with. So I'm really excited about that. Been spending a lot of time working through what is it that we want to do. So we've been working on that. Our summer concerts are booked, so they will kick off July 5th. We have some new bands this year, which is always nice. Our grant programs for the year were approved by the select board, so we have signage, our advertising, and Do It, the business improvement project. So those will all kick in July 1st. Do It will open as usual for May application window. We do have our technical assistance program. That one has opened in the fall, so we'll wait to do that one a little bit. I'm working on some updates on the town's website, trying to get things like Horace Hill and all of that stuff loaded in there that haven't been there before. It is hard to believe, but we're coming up on a year from our first test short-term rental registry. So we are probably going to see a lot of renewals throughout May. As those kind of come around. We're a little under 300 registrations right now. The way it works as people take their listings up and down, it kind of delays the process of forcing them to register. But looking at what's left, there's about 100 properties that should probably be registered. So definitely slower than Eric could have ever imagined, but I think we're making some good progress there. I've talked to a lot of people about it in Wilmington. So Chimney Hill has come a lot of times. Zoning has come to talk to me. Charlie came to talk to me just to try to see, how it's working here. So that is most of what I've been doing. But it's town meeting was long, it felt, but it was busy. And we had some great questions that I think we can all agree anytime we have that interaction, it's always nice to see.
Great. Any questions for Vicky or Shannon? Okay, Josh.
Thank you. It's been a great season. Obviously, snow has cooperated with Mother Nature, so it's been exciting to see our members have been excited to be at the club. So we've been busy. We've really focused. Obviously, one of our core goals as an organization is to focus on our community engagement. And since we last met in January, we held our community ski day, which helped raise $30,000 for 3 local charities, and including the Deerfield Valley Rescue, the Ambulance Fund, Deerfield Valley Food Bank, and the Deerfield Valley Community Cares Fuel Assistance Fund. So we had a record turnout for Community Ski Day, which was fun to see everyone there. It was a great day, and nice to be able to help give back to the community. We are on this Monday and Tuesday, we're hosting the Vermont Special Olympics. Another wonderful event. Obviously, we're looking forward to seeing about 150 plus athletes partake in the event. It's we did that the last several years at the club, and it's we had several athletes out training the last few days, so we're excited to have them compete and have their families come cheer them on, and a lot of great volunteers for that event. So we're excited to host the Vermont Special Olympics coming up. And see Pam on the call. We're also excited to have the community mixer, our Valley Connections, coming up on March 23rd, and that's from 4:30 to 6:30 at the club. So we're excited to obviously partner up with the chamber, and look forward to hosting and welcoming our community to the club to have a nice evening get together. So, but busy at the club. Obviously, we closed at the end of the month. The last Sunday in March is our closure date. And a lot of summer projects ahead for us as we ramp up. All of a sudden, it'll be next ski season before you know it. So, yeah. Any questions? Great, thank you.
Monthly community days.
Yeah, monthly community days. I know. Hey, I was thinking of like, slide another one in there sometime in the future. It's great to be able to raise a lot of money for the local community, and it's fun to see everybody come out and hear about the stories and the memories. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So obviously I saw you both there. So yeah, no, it's great.
But it's a heavy lift.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. And I think the part that I get asked a lot is that's 100%. Like every week collect $0 on that. Everything is really a give back. We don't charge, like it's a lot to open the mountain. So it's I say the 30,000 is substantially more than that for all the labor that we put into it, and we enjoy doing it. Our board and game members fully support it. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Any questions for Josh? Okay, Leah.
Hi to everyone and all the committee members. I've had a lot of internet stability problems here this morning, so I've switched over to my iPhone in a much less attractive angle. But hopefully you all can hear me and I can push through this on my cell phone. So yeah, we've had a great season so far. As you know, we kicked off our 71st ski and ride season on November 22nd. And I'm really proud of the team here. They've done an incredible job, and I feel like we've produced a really great product for our guests this entire season. We've had 5 inches of snow in the last week, and we have a 36-inch base depth and 121 inches of snowfall so far this season. It's just been great getting to see so many people here having a really fun time. Lots of live music at Mount Snow. We've had live music at the station tap room. We've had Harriman's Trivia and Harriman's Live Acoustic Series. We've had holiday celebrations here and live music at the Snow Barn, as well as grommet jams, epic pass holder first tracks. We've had disco tubing and live music on Main Street, as well as at Cousins. And we've just recently held both Pride and Women's Weekend. Pride Weekend was on February 20th to 21st, and we had a disco party and a parade on Main Street. We also had a Pride ride down Canyon, which I participated in, and live music and an après ski party and disco tubing that weekend as well. And we had our second annual Women's Weekend this past weekend. Pam was very awesome from what I hear in the group lessons, and we promoted women in powder. We also enjoyed après drinks. The women had a coffee hour as well as yoga, and skied and rode with our amazing female patrollers. I was able to enjoy that ski along, and part of it at least. Tonight we have trivia at Harriman's. We also have the Elevate Women's Camp, which is taught by women for women. That started on January 4th, and it ends on Sunday, March 8th. So still a lot to come this season with lots of live music and events. The spring is going to be really fun here at Mount Snow. We have the 17th annual Corinthia Classic. We have Vermont Specialty Foods Day, A Day for Jake, the Jack Jump World Championships, Reggae Fest, and the Sink or Skim, Pond Skim. We also have the Duct Tape Derby. So it's been a great season so far. Lots of fun things coming up. The senior leadership team at Mount Snow has been enjoying on busy Saturdays and weekends being out on Main Street, greeting guests and handing out chocolate chip cookies some weekends, and other weekends we've been doing sugar on snow, but just really wanting to connect with our guests and all of our community here at Mount Snow. So I hope that many of you will enjoy the upcoming events with us. And thanks for your time today. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Leah? Skiing was phenomenal yesterday.
It's great to hear. The morning was a little bit tricky because of that weather we had the night before. It was a little hard on top, but the warm weather softened it up. So, and our grooming team's just been doing an amazing job all season. So really proud of that team.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
Adam, BDCC.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Let's see. So we have been convening a series of leadership events where we're doing luncheons, bringing in folks to speak on some data that they have, some experiences that they have from around the state. So starting with Kevin Chu from Vermont Futures, presented his work. Then we, in February, had Kevin Stapleton from the Vermont Department of Labor, who did an update on employees' workforce participation, workforce availability. Talked about some projections looking ahead. So some really good information for folks. And then coming up next week, we have an incredible panel that we've put together. We have Treasurer Mike Pichak. We have former Burlington Mayor Moreau Weinberger from Let's Grow Homes. We have Dominic Cloud from St. Albans, who has just been doing gangbuster stuff up there for 15 years, really acting as a developer from a municipal seat. And we have Alex Farrell, the Commissioner of Housing, and Jessica Hartlebeen, who oversees VEPSI. And VEPSI is the group that oversees the new CHIP program. So these folks are coming down, talking about all the different tools that are available to support housing and development. So if anyone is interested, that is available on our website, the details for that. It's a little bit longer than the other sessions. It's 11:30 to 1:30, just given the sort of depth of talent and experience that we have. We want to make sure that those folks have enough time to share about that. And some of the planning that we've been doing for it, really hearing from them about some things not yet fully developed that they're really promoting. So route zoning, really just ensuring that people have the right to build housing is a big push coming ahead. So excited about that. Hope anyone who finds housing important is able to join us. Let's see. We're doing at the Wyndham Career Center a life skills event with all the students there. So that continues some of that P3 programming. We continue with our lending, actually seeing a pretty strong uptick in the last 30 to 45 days with small entrepreneurs and emerging businesses looking for access to capital. So that's encouraging. We're also seeing in our spaces and just in general a lot more activity looking for either new space or construction of space. So all of that sort of is starting to tell us that people have given up on necessarily lower rates, or at least feel like we've definitely hit the peak and they'll only go down, and looking to make investments. So despite everything else in the world, seeing that as a positive sign. We have been doing a lot of work with BMH in regards to the importance of that institution and organization in our region and community. We'll begin an advertising campaign in the weeks ahead. That campaign is going to be basically, at first just BDCC, but hopefully soon thereafter, many other organizations joining us in saying that, a local healthcare is important. Use it. Don't wait till it's gone because you're going to miss it. So, we're not getting into the operation of the hospital or any of the other issues that are out there other than to support the importance of having a hospital here. So we'll be communicating with other organizations and institutions who want to join in. So our logo will be the first logo, and hopefully it's just going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as others populate that. And that messaging is going to be, start here. BMH probably won't be where you go for brain surgery, but have your first checkup. Let them be a good place to start. Help navigate you through the system in that manner. We're not defined by our hospital, but a community that loses a hospital, you are defined by that loss. And so we really want to make sure that that doesn't happen. So love anybody to reach out to me if you have thoughts or want to participate in anything like that. We've also been working behind the scenes to help solve some of the Act 55 issues that they have. So looks like the legislature is finding ways to support the hospital where it's appropriate, which has been great to see and experience that support. We actually, the RDCs of Vermont, we meet weekly during the legislative session. And then, like so many organizations, we have a coffee once a year. So we'll be at the State House next Friday for our coffee. So, Emily, please feel free to stop by and grab a coffee on us. We'll see you there.
Great to have you.
Let's see. Couple other just updates. You may have read that we were the recipient of a congressionally directed spending bill. So we've been working on that for 4 years. And so really excited to receive that. That's a $3.25 million investment in the development of a new industrial park in Brattleboro. So that is, if anyone's familiar with the Full Flex facility just north of the Rotary, we've acquired that building. The tenant who's there will stay, and we will be able to develop that big front lawn into future commercial and industrial space. So we're going to install the infrastructure and have pre-designed spaces, pre-designed and permitted spaces, so that when someone comes to us, they can start construction within the week and really move it. So we think that's going to be a big differentiator for the region, having that ready to go. And that's a generational impact. It's not something we're going to see stood up in the coming year, but really excited to have that underway. If folks don't already know this, the CDS application process opened for Senator Ballant or Congresswoman Ballant and closed. You had until Monday, but don't worry. Senator Welch and Senator Sanders processes are still available. So if folks are interested in CDS earmarks, now is the time to pay attention. And we can help you, or certainly their offices can help guide that. So I will leave it there. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Adam. Anybody have any questions for Adam? Okay, Christine's not here from the Moover. Pam, with the chamber.
We are ramping up for all our summer events. But first we have, as Josh mentioned, the community chamber or community mixer at the Hermitage Club that's open to everyone. So people can come, but RSVPs help us give them an accurate number. It also, an initiative started through BDCC last year, which is now expanded further, is Take a New Vermonter Out for a Meal. And so the month of March, you can sign up on our website or on the BDC site. And if you take someone who's lived in Vermont for less than 2 years out for a meal, you can be reimbursed some of the costs for that. So it's just a way to help people who are new to the area stay in the area, because mud season's a challenge. So just trying to make some connections for them before they head into a challenging season. Our first event is in less than a month. March 27th is the Vermont Craft Beer and Chili Festival in downtown Wilmington. It's just going to be on West Main Street. We bring in about 400 people who stroll around West Main Street sampling beers and chilies. And that's moving along well. We have quite a few beers, actually, probably the most we've ever had, and still working on restaurants to commit to the Chili's, and always looking for volunteers. If you know of anybody, send them my way. And then of course, working on all our other summer events, fireworks, blueberry, Blueberry Madness Festival, as I call it, and just learned how to apply for the parade permit. So that's great. I'm moving forward on that. And of course, Wine and Harvest in September. And just want to echo some thanks for Josh for Community Day. I was there. That was awesome. And the Women's Weekend was a blast. I got a group that could ski everything, and we did. So that was awesome.
Great. Any questions for Pam? Okay, seeing none. Is there anything else that anybody wanted to bring up? Okay, on motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
Second. Out there. Adam, second. Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, and we'll see everybody on May 7th at 8:30. Shannon, can you just stay on for 1 second?
Sure thing.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.